When I talk with instructors about upcoming fall semester of 2020 and the online transition, there is one common theme that comes out that seems like almost every instructor is concerned about, and that is fostering community and engagement in their online courses. And if this is something you are worried about or want to ensure that your class has, there is absolutely one thing you need to make sure your course structure has. And that's what we're going to go over in this video. I want you to think about a time you might have gone to a conference or even been a part of a class, and I want you to imagine, or maybe this was your situation, your experience, but you showed up, you walked in, you didn't talk to anyone, you listened to the presentation, and then you walked out without talking to anyone. If that was your experience, you probably didn't feel very connected to anyone there, the speaker or the other attendees. And if you haven't had that experience, you could probably imagine that it would have a pretty lonely feel to it. The piece that's missing is the opportunity for you to casually connect with the other people there or even the presenter. And this is what every online class needs if you want to foster community and engagement in your class. So what do I mean by casual contact? You can imagine that in your normal traditional face-to-face settings, students would come in and they would sit and mingle in the classroom while they waited for you to come in and get ready to present. And this was an opportunity for them to have casual, non-structured conversations. And it's these type of conversations and interactions that lend themselves to developing friendships and connection and engagement with each other. And so we need to find a way to create that, or a version of it, in our online courses. How are other people doing this? What are some ideas and suggestions for creating some sort of casual contact space that your students can engage in? One solution is some sort of open discussion board. Now, most discussion boards are completely asynchronous, and a lot of the ones built into the LMS, learning management system, aren't always the most conducive to good flowing discussion, right? They are posts and not so much instant messaging. And so you want to look for a discussion board that has an instant messaging aspect to it. And for these, I suggest Slack or Discord. Now, once you're over there, this really encourages students to be able to connect, one, in the public forums that you give them access to, but also with each other in a more private way. And some instructors may be a little hesitant to giving students the opportunity to connect in a way that's unmoderated by them. But if you think about it, you don't moderate the hallways. You don't moderate your classroom before you walk in it. They can say and do kind of whatever they want. Now, you could put an established set of guidelines for expected netiquette or behavior and the way you talk to each other in your syllabi to help fall back on if things get inappropriate. But for the most part, you want them to have a channel to talk without you overseeing. That's going to lead to connection. Another way that instructors are doing this is creating ongoing small groups in their classroom. What you can do is you can create these ongoing small groups that are reoccurring breakout rooms in Zoom, or they have their own area within your learning management system, or even in one of those discussion board applications like Slack or Discord that I mentioned. And this gives students opportunity to interact with a few individuals that they see and interact with repeatedly, helping foster those bonds. Sometimes it's hard in a class of 45 or 100 or 500 online to really make connections with others. So if you can scale that down to between like 4 and 5 students in a small group, maybe even up to 10, stronger connections and engagement will be made. And you don't need to facilitate every group meeting they have. You can send them out to their breakout rooms and let them work and come back together. Another thing that I've heard of instructors doing to help foster this is they are creating a cafe area or like a coffee and kudos area in their Blackboard or learning management system. And what this is it is a specific folder that allows students to talk and discuss about anything they want, not class related. So you're giving them a designated space to interact in a more casual format, talking about movies that they have seen or video games they've played or whatever else is on their mind, and this helps create connection as well. The final tip that I want to give you for a method to help create this casual connection between your students in an online space is if you are doing live virtual meetings, queue up those meetings with a couple of minutes of on-screen prompted discussion questions. Now, these can be content relevant or they could be silly, like, would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? That's a question I like to ask my students at the beginning of the semester. So you can steal it and you can let me know your answer in the comments below. But having one of these type of questions up on the screen as you are preparing for your synchronous session cues students to start engaging with each other and in the chat. And that's another way to drive student engagement. I hope this video gave you some great ideas and laid the foundation for developing connection and engagement in your online courses. Let me know what you're doing in your classes to facilitate engagement and connection. And I'd love for you to connect with us on Facebook or Instagram, or even subscribe here on YouTube. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.